Good morning, dear students. So, we have been discussing with Biot-Savart's law and hope you all are clear with that. Now, we are moving to the applications of Biot-Savart's law. Okay, so the first application is to find the magnetic field at the center of a circular coil carrying current. Clear? To find the magnetic field represented by the letter B at the center of a circular coil carrying current. Okay, so for that we have to consider a circular coil or a loop. That is, can consider like this. Okay, we have considered a coil or a loop like this, having radius R with center O. Radius R. Understood? Now, what is our aim? We have to find the magnetic field at this point O, which is the center of the circular loop. For that, first we will consider a small element here, like we have done the proof of Biot-Savart's law. We have considered a small element. Let the I current is flowing through this loop. Okay, this is the current flowing, and this element has a length dl. Then what is this current element? As it is I into dl. Clear? So all these points are clear for you. Now we will apply Biot-Savart's law. That is, we have the expression, not vector form, symbol form, that is dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Right. So this is our angle theta. Clear? Now listen here. This is the radius, right? So if each element, if I am considering, what about the angle between this line and this theta? Sorry, this line element, as it is 90 degree. How? That means, suppose this is our coil, okay, circular coil like this. Now we have considered a line element on this particular coil. Then what about the angle between the radius and the line element? As it is 90 degree. Clear? So theta is equal to 90 degree. Then dB will change to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin 90 by r square. At any point if I am considering, since it is radius, at any point if I am considering it, the angle will be 90 degree. Okay. So mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin 90 by r square, which is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square. This much is clear. Now in order to find the total, this is for small element, that is dl, and if I want to find the whole, for the whole coil, right, because of the whole coil how much magnetic field is produced. So I have to integrate this term, that is to find B, I will integrate this term, that is integral mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square. And what is the limit here? As since L is the changing quantity, What about the value circumference, which is 0 to 2 pi r? Okay, that is constants I can take outside. Therefore, mu 0 by 4 pi I by r squared dl, 0 to 2 pi r. Clear? Now for dl we will get L, and then we have to apply the limits. Mu 0 by 4 pi I by r square into L, 0 to 2 pi r. So when you apply the limits, mu 0 by 4 pi I by r squared into 2 pi r minus 0, that is 2 pi r. Now cancel 2 pi and 4 pi, you will get 2 here. R and r square, you will get r here. So what is the value? Mu 0 I divided by 2r. Clear? Okay. Now, how will you find the direction of magnetic field in this case? Yesterday we have studied about the right hand screw rule, right? So in that we have told that if you are moving, the rotation of the screw is like clockwise direction, the screw will be moving inward. So the motion of the screw will give you the direction of magnetic field, and the rotation is actually the direction of current, right? So here in this case you can see the current is in the clockwise direction. That means you have to rotate like this, and as a result the screw will be moving inward, which means that the magnetic field is towards the plane of the paper or inside, inward. Okay, so you can write the direction of magnetic field is perpendicular, always the magnetic field and current element are perpendicular. So direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to current and acting inward. Okay, now we have considered a coil here, and if the coil has large number of turns like this, then how will the equation change? Yes, we will add the number of turns n also. So if there are n number of turns, the equation will become B is equal to mu 0 Ni divided by 2R. Okay, if there are n number of turns, depending upon the number of turns, the current will also increase. So that number of turns into current will be the factor. So mu 0 Ni by 2R. This is the expression for magnetic field at the center of a circular coil carrying current. Okay, so simple only. Just we want to draw a diagram, then apply Biot-Savart's law, then just integrate to the limits 0 to 2 pi r, and finally the result. That is B is equal to mu 0 I by 2r, where r is the radius of the coil, I is the current, mu 0 permeability. Now if there are n number of turns, B equal to mu 0 Ni by 2r, and the direction of B is always perpendicular to current and it will be acting inward. Okay, now we will move to the second application. Now the second application is magnetic field on the axis of, that is to find the magnetic field on the axis of the circular coil carrying current. Okay, in the first case we found the magnetic field on the center of the circular loop. Here we are considering a circular coil in which we consider a point on the axis and find the magnetic field at that point. Okay, so first we will draw the diagram. So we can consider a circular coil like this. You have to imagine like this, okay? It's in 3 dimension. In this way it is placed. Circular coil is placed like this, okay? Then let C be the center of this circular coil. You know, the plane of the coil is perpendicular to plane of the paper, because in this way only, okay, in this way only. So the plane of the coil is perpendicular to plane of the paper. Then I current is flowing through the coil like now we can consider a point P on its axis like this. We can consider a point P. Now at this point we have to find the magnetic field, and then we have to consider the current element on this circular coil. So here if you are considering the current is moving like this, okay, that is in the top point if you are considering the current is coming like this, and in the bottom point the current is going like this, okay. So directions are different. So here we will consider one element, here also we will consider an element, okay for you. Now this is DL, this is also DL. I current, so current element is IDL. Again here also the current element IDL. Okay. Now let the radius of this coil can be written as A. Okay. Radius of the coil can be written as A here. And the distance from center to P can be written as R. Clear? A, then R. You can name it as X, okay? That is X. Now this distance, that is from P to this current element, can be taken as R. Clear? Similarly here also we have a current element, so the distance is R. Clear? So always this is in 90 degree. We will consider two names here, that is XY and X dash Y dash. Okay. Now let this current element is making an angle phi with this point. Now we have to find the direction of magnetic field. You know this is a coil, right? So when you apply the screw rule, you can find that the magnetic field, if this current is moving like this, it is in anti-clockwise direction and the magnetic field is coming outward. That is, the magnetic field and the current element are always perpendicular, isn't it? So for both cases the magnetic field is perpendicular. So we can draw the magnetic field in a direction which is perpendicular to this current element. So how can you draw here? Also it is clear that this term X, okay, XP is perpendicular to di. Okay, because we have considered the element like this, current element, clear, that is xy. Then a point, if you are considering, suppose this is the center and on its axis we have considered a point somewhere here. So this distance is taken as r. Okay, now look here, this dl element and this value, that is dl element and xp, this distance are perpendicular. Similarly, in the bottom case also, x dash p is perpendicular to dl element. Okay, now this values, that is xp and x dash p is taken as r. Okay, now listen, here according to the rule, that is according to our right hand screw rule, I told that the direction of dB is perpendicular to this term xp, as well as you can name it as in this way only we can draw, okay, think three-dimensionally. So this is actually perpendicular to this dl element. So this is our direction of dB, clear. Now this dB will form two components which can be resolved like this, that is first one, this is the second one, clear. Similarly in this case also, this r is perpendicular to the direction of dB. So this is our dB, again resolving into two components, this one and this one. Okay, now this is angle phi. If this is angle phi, this is also phi, clear. So this is perpendicular, dB is perpendicular to this point. Similarly this one perpendicular to this point. So if this is phi, this is also phi, clear. Similarly here also this is phi. If this is phi, this component will be dB cos phi and this is dB sin phi. Similarly here also dB cos phi and this is dB sin phi. Okay, this much clear. Now we will apply Biot-Savart's law, that is applying Biot-Savart's law. dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by r square. Okay, now I told that here the theta value is 90 degree because the current element is perpendicular to the magnetic field, that is theta is 90. So this equation is mu 0 by 4 pi then I dl divided by r squared. Now in the figure you can see that dB is resolved into two components on both sides, because of both current elements. But here this dB cos phi is equal on both sides and it will get cancelled. But dB sin phi, which is on the same side, will get added up. So total magnetic field at the point is dB sin phi, isn't it? And so we can write the expression that is the magnetic field B is equal to integral of dB sin phi. Integral of dB sin phi. Okay, because this is same and this is acting in the same direction. So only that component results in the magnetic field, which is dB sin phi. Now dB value you know, that is mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl by r square. So mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square into sin phi. That is the integral. Okay. Now you have to find the value for sin phi from the diagram. That is, taking this right angle triangle, let the name be M here. Okay. So triangle PCM will give you sin phi is equal to A by R. Isn't it? Opposite side by hypotenuse. Similarly, here also the same value you will get. So sin phi equal to A by R. Substituting the value here, this B will become, B is equal to integral of mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square into A by R. That is mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r cube. Is much clear for you? Okay. What is the limit here? Its limit is again from 0 to 2 pi a, because a is the radius here, right? So 2 pi a, again 0 to 2 pi a. So this expression will change to mu 0 by 4 pi I a divided by r cube into integral dl to the limits 0 to 2 pi a, which is mu 0 by 4 pi r cube I a into 2 pi a. So 2 pi and 4 pi will get cancelled. So it will become 2 here. So, or let it be there, we can change in another terms also. That is mu 0 I a squared into 2 pi divided by 4 pi r cube. Either you can cancel it and write, but no problem. If numericals are asked in some other ways, you have to find another equation, an alternate equation also here. For that purpose, you can change this pi a square. That is, pi a square means area, right? So you can write this as mu 0, that is 2 mu 0 I, then a is the area, pi a square, divided by 4 pi r cube. Clear? 2 mu 0 I a divided by 4 pi r cube. Clear? So this is the expression for magnetic field on the axis of a circular coil carrying current. Here we have to note a few more things. That is, the first one is, if there are n number of turns, if there are n number of turns, how will this equation change? As B is equal to 2 mu 0 n I a divided by 4 pi r cube. 2 mu 0 n I a divided by 4 pi r cube. Okay. So one more special case we can add here. That is B. We have the expression B equal to mu 0 I into 2 pi a square by 4 pi r cube. And then if you are applying Pythagoras theorem in the triangle POC, okay, please look at your figure. In the triangle POC, if you are applying Pythagoras theorem, you will get r square is equal to a squared plus x squared, right? Or r equal to root of a squared plus x squared, or a squared plus x squared the whole raised to 1 by 2. In the same way, we have done a derivation in our first chapter also. Then B is equal to, you can write mu 0 I into 2 pi a squared divided by 4 pi into a squared plus x squared the whole raised to 3 by 2. Okay. And a condition, if the point P is very close to the point C, that is, if the point P that we have considered along the axis is very close to the center C. What about the distance between the point and the center C? As this distance become very small, that is, x distance is very less than a. That is the condition when you are taking this P close to the point C. So in such a case, our equation, in this equation, we will neglect the term x squared. Okay, so final equation is B is equal to mu 0 I 2 pi a squared divided by 4 pi a squared the whole raised to 3 by 2. That is, a squared the whole raised to 3 by 2 will give you a cube. So mu 0 I into 2 pi a squared divided by 4 pi a cube. Okay, so now you can cancel, that is, here it is a and here it is 2. So mu 0 I by 2a is the answer. Mu 0 I by 2a. So this is the value for magnetic field on the axis of a circular coil. Okay, these all things are needed because for numericals any type can be asked related to this topic. So all the equations should be kept with you and you will be able to derive the expression and also for solving the numericals. So this is all about the application, the second application. Okay. So that's all for today, and the third application that we will discuss in our next class. Okay. So be thorough with this topic. Thank you.